B. Louise, man, how you doing, bro? You good?
Yeah, I'm good, man. We saying you good?
I'm all right, man. I'm all right. Even better for speaking with you, my friend. Even better. Yeah.
Yeah. So
As you know, I've mentioned, for Mental Health Awareness Week, I wanted to get a series of interviews from people who have been brave enough to be honest about their previous experiences with mental health, good or bad, and equally the work they've been doing to help others. And obviously, you're one of the people that came to mind in doing good things in that area, and equally just sharing your own challenges you've had as well, and how.
yeah,
So without kind of stealing your thunder, and for those who don't know who you are, wanted to just get you to introduce yourself and what you do, and then we'll kick off with the questions.
yeah, that's cool. So I'm Borjad Luis, spelled a bit differently. My dad's from Mexico, mom's from England. I do music. That's where the name kind of like originated. Well, not originated, but was kind of transformed from to try and make a music persona. And yeah, I'm just a lyricist that I made a few tracks recently that kind of expressed my mental health as well. 3 tracks in particular that we'll go over in a minute. And then yeah, man. So yeah, I'm just a lyricist from the Reading, and yeah.
RG. Okay.
RG.
Yeah, man. Well, look, I thank you for that introduction, and we'll go straight into it if you don't mind. And as I said, this is around kind of like a normal conversation about life, but yeah, we're touching on mental health and I guess how the lockdown is, making those people who have mental health issues and struggle a little bit more, perhaps, and
Yeah.
exacerbate their own anxieties. But equally, those that wouldn't necessarily associate themselves with mental health now thinking, oh, hang on, triggers, whether that be losing a job.
Yeah, I feel like there's more cases of it now.
Yeah,
100%.
That's right. And so I
Yeah.
thought, as I said, a good time to have these conversations. If it helps one person, then fantastic. Certainly, I learned a lot from talking to you, and I'm sure I learn a lot now as well. So, but my question is, what were your triggers in the past that led to some of your own challenges with your mental health? What were those triggers?
Yeah, like even from like school and that, I always just kind of like had sort of anxiety and anger. Like it was mainly anger when I was younger.
Okay.
But the anxiety has kind of always been there, but had this, it's like moderated and then gone up and then down, and then keeps kind of having like a bipolar effect. Not like consistently like bipolar if it was to be diagnosed, but
yeah,
I guess that's the way I could explain it. It's like it's always been there. It will just pop up. Almost in the sense that it pops up at the right time, but obviously it's not a right time because you don't want it to happen, but it pops up when it has to, in a way. Yeah.
Okay. And when you say at school, was it from like just challenges with doing the work, or was it challenges with the social aspect of it, or was it external things outside of school that somehow school brought it up? What if you don't mind, sort of?
I think school triggered it a lot. It was probably all 3 of those points really, all kind of like merging together and just combining to make this whole sort of mad sort of situation. I didn't really start noticing sort of like changes until I was about 6 or 7, and then used to just get annoyed at everything, man. I think it's just the work as well, because my brain wasn't able to function and kind of like process the information that the other kids were like learning, and that frustrated me as well. And then people not understanding that I don't understand in a way, and that also frustrated me.
Yeah.
And then and when you're younger as well, you got so much more energy, and that can generate, even though having lots of energy as a kid is good, it can generate so much more anger though. You can't control it.
Yeah. And I guess as a kid, you don't.
Well, I don't really get angry anymore. It's just mainly anxiety every now and then.
Okay. And it's interesting because thank you for sharing that, because my question was, so as a kid, you mentioned that now some anger and school brought it up. And then you mentioned the frustration of people not understanding that you don't understand, whether it's some of the work or how they're communicating. How
there's no educating about it, man. It's hard, because no one really knows until you literally meet someone with something, and then
And how did that shape your sort of growing up as a teenager then? So because I'd imagine getting used to people not understanding you or thinking they're not going to understand you might have changed the way you connected with people, or did it not affect you in that way?
Well, by the time I went to secondary school, it's like I had a bit more understanding of my mental health, but and obviously the staff there did as well. But I think the secondary school was such a massive transition for me. It's just even though there was more help there in a sense, it's just the whole environment, the actual academic side of it, the timings, like even the amount of time I'm at school, like having to be there 8:30 till 3 or whenever it was. That doesn't seem a lot now if you take into consideration the 9 to 5s, but at the time there's just so much going on. It's just couldn't comprehend what was really going on. And then towards the end of school, I just had to like keep dropping lessons and stuff just to keep me at ease, because it just wasn't working after a few years. So
yeah. Okay. And what support did you feel you got from school or even friends? Because you alluded to it, that school, at secondary school, they kind of helped, but did you think, in hindsight, looking back, there was more support they could have given you, and you were left with, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but what kind of support did you feel you got then?
I feel like they were more supportive. Like there was certain like teachers and teachers' assistants that I had better bonds with than I did in primary school, and more understanding and more like civil with me. But I think it was mainly just me, because I was just so like, not really, I was hyperactive kind of like in lessons, but that was more for like an attention thing.
Right.
Where I wanted people to kind of like, because if I was just sat there quiet, like I don't think it kind of annoyed me that it was just so quiet. So I always had to be like the center of attention and have people kind of laugh with me or at me to kind of like make me feel like, oh, I'm actually, there's something going on there. It's not just us sitting about sort of thing. Kind of like me trying to be the class clown, but I kind of enjoyed it, and then I hated it afterwards because I had to get sent out or whatever, and it was just continuously like that basically. So yeah, it just kept going around in circles and just getting worse and worse every year. And every year I thought it was going to get better, it just didn't. And then yeah.
Oh man, and was that because as you mentioned, the structure of let's say that school life, etc., maybe didn't fit into how your mind was working, right? Was it pretty much?
Yeah, it was much bigger as well, because I went to a really small like village primary school where there's literally like, there was even 2 classes where year 5 and year 6 had to share. That's how small the school was.
Okay.
Sort of thing. So going into secondary and having to have a planner and have to move about and meet new people and all these different staff members, and some people might not be aware of your condition prior to you like going into certain lessons. Like I had a lot of issues with like supply teachers and stuff, because they don't, obviously there wasn't like a lot of information passed over as well. So but at the same time as that, I saw the opportunity to kind of like mess about with it and kind of like continue to have that sort of persona in school, but it just kept getting worse and worse. And yeah, I feel like they could have supported me better, but I don't feel like I was mentally there to actually like appreciate what they were doing. I just thought like they were just telling me off, when really they probably were helping me in some aspects, but at that age and that sort of mentality, I just didn't see that. I think that's what it was. Yeah.
No, I appreciate that, and it's interesting you said that last bit about telling you off and that, and I'll only just share a little bit of my experience in that. I went through like a truancy part, I guess, in school from the age of 14, 16. You could argue early 13. I'm sure my dad would, but I know that when I started to be more truant, I started to kind of, it was my own doing, don't get me wrong, but believe the labels associated with how I was behaving, and I'd play up to that. And then obviously then when I left school, I kind of then was forging that as my identity. So the reason why I brought that up, just about like playing up, and it was getting worse and worse. And obviously now you've left school because you kind of felt like, well, it wasn't really for me. I guess my question is, with now being more aware of your own mental health and what works for you and what kind of doesn't, and then the labels that were maybe thrown at you at school, how much of that shaped your identity moving forward from like, I guess, teenage life to adult life?
Well, I say by the time I left school, a couple of months after that, I started to chill out a bit more.
Okay.
But I think it's just the whole education thing. I think because I had such, I wouldn't necessarily say traumatic, but so many bad experiences in educational places, That even when I went to go do a music course in college, I still just didn't want to like do nothing, because it's almost like I raised myself to behave like that.
Yeah.
And just kind of like be like that, even though I'm doing a subject that I actually enjoy. But when it came to the academic stuff, I just saw it at school again. I was just there messing about and that. But all the music stuff, I'd pass like a week in advance sort of thing. I'd be like one of the quickest learning students for any sort of academic, like English, maths or ICT. I used to be messing about because I was just so used to doing that. And it's like there was something in my brain telling me I should do this because I want to get these qualifications. But I was just thinking like, nah, because I want to still kind of be this sort of jokey guy sort of thing. Yeah. So it's a bit of a weird one, really. It's almost like I had like another person inside me always telling me, no, you don't have to do that. I even feel that now, like when I'm doing that coursework now, I still get little urges in my head saying, oh, no, you can't do that. Like, don't do that. Like, go and chill. Go play some FIFA or something.
Yeah. And how do you then, how do you manage that better? Like in terms of, you said little voice. I'm sure when you were younger, that little voice might have been louder. How have you made it like a little voice where you're aware of it, you can maybe feel it coming, and you kind of just turn it off?
I think as I'm away from any like learning stuff, I've always found it difficult to be taught things.
Okay.
So I'm more like a practical person sort of thing. So all my GCSEs, like when they told us to pick GCSEs, I think you had to pick 3 or 4 when you went into year 10, and they allowed me to only do 2 because they knew that I wouldn't be able to handle it. And then I think because I'm not helping people with their education now and helping people outside of that as well, I feel more confident because I'm actually like leading people rather than being led myself in a sense. I think that's what it is. Yeah.
And just if I may, I'm going to touch on that because you mentioned like leading people and helping people. So where did that transition come from? So like, you know,
it was really random, bro. It was really random because when I left the music course, they put me onto one of them sort of foundation courses to get like qualifications. So I didn't get that in school, so they wanted to give me like level graded stuff in college. But I was still in that mindset, like, I don't want to be I could be at home or wherever. And then it was a friend of my mum's that was the head of the department in the college that was helping people with disabilities. And she said, oh, if I'm not doing nothing, if I'm not turning up to lessons and that, why don't I do some work experience and just see how it is? And even then, like the first day, I remember like being like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this, because obviously when you're younger and you don't understand certain things like that, you don't want to be seen with certain people, whatever, and like you kind of become a bit stubborn sort of thing. And then after like 20 minutes, I loved it. I got on with all the students and I proper liked it, got a good experience out of it. And then even after my job interview, they gave me the job 20 minutes later, gave me a phone call and said, yeah, you got it. Like that. And I was there like, wow, I've never had a job before. Like, it just feels weird. Like, I didn't think I'd even have a job. Like, it's strange.
And what was different about it? Because like, yeah, I mean, I think what was different? Were you able to understand where the students were coming from?
I think I understood because there was some people there, like higher ability people with ADHD and stuff, and I could kind of understand. I even see them now. I'm just there like, I was exactly like you. Like, I see them like swearing down the hallways, whatever. I'm just there like, that's exactly what I was like. Like, I feel bad for even like intervening when they're doing stuff like that, because I almost feel like I'm a hypocrite. But at the same time, it's my job to make sure that they're behaving themselves, and then they relate to me more because they understand that I come from that same sort of background. I'm not just some like uni student or something that's just studied it for 4 years but grew up like in some posh estate or something. They actually see me as like one of their own, almost like I'm a relative or like an older brother or something. I think that's how I can help them progress as well as me progressing in my employment sort of thing.
And you touched on it as well. You said about your confidence. So like, how's that? I mean, how's that help with your confidence? In my head, I think it's obvious, but I want to just hear like from the jump from, as you said, that institution and struggling with how that works and whether it's for you to them now, leader and teaching the youngest. And
it's so weird, bro. It's so weird. Like, even I remember when I first got my job, and one of my old music teachers, he was on his last day, but he's still doing enrollments. And he saw me and he goes, oh, what course are you doing this year? And I said, no, I work here now. And he's like,
that's quality.
He's a cool guy though. I ain't got nothing against him. He's actually quite a cool guy. But, all my music teachers are like really cool, man. I just didn't really get on with no one else. I still chat to a lot of them now as well. They're all really good. So yeah.
Oh, you see the teachers that you never used to kind of like. You see them in the.
Yeah, the ones I got on with. Yeah, I got them on Facebook, everything, man. Yeah, they're proper cool guys, man. Like, I still see them out and about, and they're supportive, and they even give me like little music contacts or whatever.
Yeah.
Help me in that. So yeah.
And kicking on from that, then. So now you've got the job, and you're not only have you got the job, you're in the job. You love the job. You said you're seeing like impact that you're helping others with.
Yeah, it's very rewarding.
Yeah, that's the word. Thank you.
I think that's what I love most about it. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're seeing that now. So like, what is that doing for your confidence? Like, did that switch your perception to another level as well in terms of
definitely. Yeah, I'm way more confident. I think I've got way more confident from working in that position for the last 2-3 years, whatever, because I'm able to like structure. Now, I'm not necessarily a teacher, but I can like structure like work that students have to do, and stuff like that. And I'm more in like control. Not like I just want to be the man and be in control. It's more like I have the confidence to be able to orchestrate like what the students are doing, and not just kind of be sat on the sideline waiting for them to ask me for help, where I can just give them the upfront sort of information they need, and then they barely even ask me for help unless it's really necessary, and I'm always happy to like step in and do it. So I think, it's just like the methods I use when I'm like working, and that might be a bit different to other people that work in education, but it works though, because the students work really well with me, and I've been given positive feedback from parents and stuff. So
and that's
always good.
That's golden, mate.
They gave me Christmas presents and everything, man. It's nice.
that is best. And how have you been coping and with isolation and lockdown? And have you been able to give work to any students? And from a professional perspective. And then number two, just how are you coping in general, man? How are you, bro?
Well, with the lockdown, I think it was prior to lockdown, about a week and a half before, I left early, because this is about the time where it was becoming a bit of a concern and becoming a pandemic. And what happened was, a lot of my students, because a lot of them have quite severe disabilities, their parents weren't even sending them in anyway, prior to the lockdown, because they didn't trust it. Because obviously their immune systems and that can't fight it. And then I had to leave about a week early than everyone else, purely because of Beth, because of diabetes. Because if I was to contract something and give it to her, like, it could be very dangerous.
Yeah, high risk, right? Yeah.
So yeah, she is in a high risk, like she had to leave work herself. So I had to leave. So we're still in the progress of catching up with students. We're using that app called I just downloaded the other day, Free CX, I think it's called. It's like a number thing where you have like, you create your own number, it linked in with your company, so it's like a safe call sort of thing. So when I call a student, it can be tracked. Yeah. So like, obviously it backs me up sort of thing, and backs them up, and then just to catch up how they are. But I don't know when I started, so I haven't actually contacted any students recently. I had like one guy like emailing me like random cakes he's made and stuff, and actually look quite banging. Actually made me quite jealous. But aside from that, I'm trying to get hold of some students. I'm just waiting for the free CX to get confirmed and that, and then they're going to give me like some line number. So I think they give me like a private number thing, almost like what delivery drivers have, where they ring you on a number sort of thing. And then they I'll get hold of them and see how they are, try and send them some stuff. I know they've got sent a few packs when the lockdown first happened, but I'm guessing they would have gone through them packs by now. So yeah, it's a bit mad. But it's just, in general, for me, lockdown, it's just weird how normal it feels now. It's like this is just life now. Like, it's been like 2 months, something like that. I think it's been like nearly 2 months, 9 weeks.
Yeah, it's about that.
Not us, 9 weeks. 9 weeks I ain't been at work. I'm still working, doing coursework and that. And that's another interesting thing, going back to the school thing, is that I would never want to do coursework or any homework. I'm actually really enjoying it. I'm actually like writing up info sheets about different conditions and educating myself about stuff. And yeah,
you changed, bro. You changed for the better, man.
I've changed. I'm actually enjoying learning.
You're a new man, mate.
Yeah,
I like that, man. Caterpillar to butterfly effect right there. I mean,
yeah, man.
Yeah, easy. And then okay, so yeah, professionally, you're got plans to stay in touch with the students. And
I'm just waiting on a number, and then they're going to give me the numbers to call via the free CX app, and then yeah, I should be able to catch up. 'Cause I missed some as well. Like, I got one of my students. He's got a part-time job in McDonald's.
Yeah.
So like the last time I see him was when he's working at McDonald's, and I proper miss him as well, man. And like you get a bond with these people, man. They get a bond with you because they respect you, and like him in particular. I won't go too into detail, but there's times where he might be a bit of a menace in that, and not really like listening to people. But when he's with me, he's cool because me and him listen to the same music. Like we talk the same sort of thing. Like he gets on with me, and he's got himself a little part-time job as well. Like it's not that bad. Like, I feel like he should be given a bit more credit. Like
maybe he's misunderstood, and you know, I feel like when people don't take the time to either understand someone, or let's say they've judged someone too quickly, then they don't want to. It's the same thing. They don't want to know.
Yeah.
But if he relates to you, then obviously you're more patient with him, innit? Like you understand when he's lashing out or whatever, and you can. I would imagine you can relate to him on a level, and probably just as you said, than he would others. But yeah, I find that's the shame, innit? And that's probably where the idea of you being a good teacher really makes an impact, because like you said before, Ella, you understand them because you've been that guy where you felt misunderstood and felt frustrated for it.
Yeah, definitely. You see it from a different perspective.
Yeah,
bruv.
yeah.
It's weird seeing it. Yeah.
You know, but so okay, so good. So no, and you mentioned about yourself educating yourself. But what I want to ask you as well was I saw, you know, you dropped an EP out. I would say definitely middle of last month, but correct me if I'm wrong. You dropped that out. So that tells me, okay, yeah, man, B. Louise has been putting in work. So I want to ask you about your music. So like, how did that come about?
Yeah.
Was it something that you did clearly prior to the lockdown? You know, have you been?
That was really coincidental. It was,
Okay.
yeah, because we were trying to plan like a release party and that.
Yeah.
And then literally lockdown happened like 2 weeks later. Because we had all the tracks there. The last track that was added was the one with Benza called Going Round. That was the last track that was added, but everything else from there was on there for a while. But we just kept it quiet. Like we performed it at shows, but we wanted to put it all out at once. To like have like a catalogue there, and, like throw all the skits in and kind of build it into an album.
Yeah.
I've never really done like a CD like this before. It was quite a lot of work, but me and Shard went in Miami and a few other people. And then as soon as Benza did his bit and we mixed up, and then we put out. There was a few delays though, because with the publishers, when you upload it, obviously no one's in the offices because of lockdown and that. So we had to wait, like it was like a week delayed, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
So like it was slowly coming onto YouTube and then came onto iTunes 2 days later, sort of thing. But that's because of the corona. Like that doesn't usually happen when you upload music. It's just because there's no one about to like verify stuff. So
yeah.
So yeah, that CD was just proper random. Kind of came out of nowhere. I didn't really tell no one about it, to be honest. It just kind of came out, and now it's a bit annoying. I can't record nothing now. I ain't got a home studio. I used to go to Shards or Smileys.
Yeah.
But obviously, like I can't go to either at the moment. So we're just having to just do what we can. But we're still doing like sort of music stuff. Like I'm chatting to a few people online and that, and they're interested in like jumping on remixes and that. So yeah.
Good. And okay, well, don't want to like skirt it, because you're like, what's the reception been like for the EP, man? Because I know you put out a competition as well with some bars. No, not bars. Yeah, it was bars. People freestyle.
Yeah, the Narcos challenge. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, and then the winner gets to feature on that track as well, or track I think with.
Yeah, so we're trying to get that sorted because the guy that won it, he's got his own home studio, so that's kind of like easy because my vocals are done, so we just need to add him on. But there's also someone else overseas that might feature on it as well, or in a separate version or a different track. But I can't talk too much about that. Of
course, yeah.
It's a bit classified right now. So, yeah.
But that's good. But that's what I'm saying. So you're keeping active, man, and that's what I like to hear. And by all accounts, when I've seen on Instagram and the comments and that, you're getting real good feedback as well, bro. So congratulations and well done to you.
Thank you, man.
You know, that's the key thing. But also, so aside from that project, so that's happening, and you're, as you said, you've got a couple of features or remixes happening. Are you writing new music? So I know you mentioned about you haven't got a home studio, either have I, to be fair, and I find that frustrating for myself. But then what I do is, you know, listen to instrumentals, or I might play one of your tunes because I like the background, just write. If I heard good music, I can shut off the artist, you know, lyrically.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah? So that's what I've been doing. But yeah, what have you been doing, bro?
I haven't actually done that much writing, to be honest. Like, Shard sent me like 2-3 beats, but I've done a little bit of writing, but I'm just losing the motivation for it because I'm not up and about and kind of like active, and that kind of gives me my steam. Where if I'm just sat about,
You're
like,
chilling
I
it.
just don't feel the need for it, and I can't record it either. So I'm just there like, oh, I could write like a 64 right now, but I can't record it for another month or so. I might not even like it by then, sort of thing. Like, I'm getting a bit of mixed thoughts while I'm writing, so I'm struggling with writing at the moment, to be honest. I think that's one thing that lockdown's got to me about. But I'm starting to get a bit more motivation this last week and this week though. It's starting to come back to me. It's taken a little while, but last thing I wrote might have been like a month ago.
Okay.
So yeah, I've been proper off it for a bit. I've been always listening to music, always thinking of ideas all the time, just not writing nothing.
Yeah, man. I see you post about Joyner, man. I know you're a Joyner fan.
Oh, Joyner, yeah, Joyner's a legend, bro. Yeah, because he's got ADHD as well. I proper rate him, bro. Joyner's sick, man.
Yeah. And that you feeling his new track, Will.
Yeah, and he actually got Will Smith on it as well.
Yeah,
and Will actually went hard on it as well, man.
He tore it.
He shut it down, yeah.
Yeah, he did, man. He did. And there's a video on YouTube. I'll send it to you after this. But you may have seen it. In fact, you're a bigger Joyner fan than I am, so you probably have seen it. But it's Joyner meeting Will, but online with
with Jaden and them lot.
Yeah, and it breaks it down, and Joyner breaks it down like how he writes, the fact that he visualizes a video first and works backwards, like just mad to hear that. So it's good that you're listening to music and keeping the spirits up. And I was going to ask actually about your writing process, only because something you've alluded to there. Because see me, I class myself as a speed writer, but then on the back end of that, lazy. I'll be up because I'll speed write. Some are concepts, some are just bars, some are just like not nothingness, but thoughts, and they are what they are, and then they're not memorized. They just pile up. So that's my homework to pick the best ones from that, memorize it, blah blah blah. But from what you were saying, it almost sounds like, well, if I got a studio, I'll go studio with a beat, write to it, and I can record it then and then I memorize. Is that tend to be how you work? Because I write and then what I've written, I'll spit on a beat too and try to adapt it to the beat. But from what you were saying,
okay,
like you don't.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, I used to do that quite a bit. The way that me and Shard do it, what we usually do is like we link up, and then he's got like a little small setup in his thing, and then what we'll do, we'll record a few little things at his and do like a little basic mix, and then we might go over the Smileys or get like another master, like send it over to someone and then get it fully finished.
Okay.
Because then if I have to re-record it on like Smiley's mic, Smiley's got slightly better equipment, as you know, and instead of me having to kind of look at my phone and then look at the mic and then trying to concentrate two things at once, it just naturally comes out because I've already pre-recorded and I'm listening to it. Yeah. So that's helped me a lot. That's what I do a lot of the time now. I just know it straight off the top.
Okay.
No, I don't have to write the bars, and I can usually do it in one take. Sometimes, not always. But or I mess up right on the last bar. I do that. Like, you can ask Smiley. I'll tell you. I mess up on the last bar.
Smiley's got bare stories about how I cursed you, and like, I get anal. If I, the ones there when you've made a mistake, but you heard it, and you want to rap on, and I want to rap on. And then I'm like, nah, I stopped because
it gets you, man. Yeah, if you pronounce the word wrong or something, it just hits you, and you say like, oh no, I don't like that previous bit. Why should I carry on, sort of thing?
That's it. So that's my inner demons to fight off, because truth be told, Spider can just like cut and gone, but I'm like, nah, it needs to be perfect. You know what I mean? And
no, definitely, man. You need to put pride in your product, man. That's what it's all about. You should never rush stuff ever.
100%. But so what you're saying is then typically you will write, if Shah sent you a beat, you write to it. So you wouldn't have
Yeah, so he usually sends me something, but before the CD was dropped, we linked up like literally like 5 weeks in a row.
Nice.
So we were just chilling, and then he might be finding some samples and then just play a little loop for like an hour, and I just write something to that, and then after a while he's created a tune. And then I record my vocals, and then by the time it's gone to Smiley's, the beat sounds different because he always adds something. He always surprises me. And then when we record with Smiley, he's added something else to it, so it just sounds better and better every time, and it just keeps my confidence up as well, and it just makes me want to write more.
Good. And then, on the writing then, because you've mentioned it, you've got 3 songs associated with mental health in your latest project, right?
Yeah.
I guess my question is, so what was that transition from sharing those experiences you have into your music, or have you always been that guy that you put it in your music? Because, you know, some...
I actually kind of started off like that at one point, and then I went off it a bit. By the time I was like, when I finished school and I went to college, a lot of my songs are very like compassionate and very like not emotional, more just like passionate. And then I just started writing all kinds of stuff, and then I adapted these 3 songs in particular to recent situations that I had before, like lifetime experiences within the last couple of years. And then the first track, Don't Talk, that was about me feeling there was a time where I felt like I lost the respect, sort of thing, where like I had this respect as a musician, and then I dropped a bad song and I felt like I had let everyone down, sort of thing. And that's what that song was about. And then I wrote another song called Staunch, and that was kind of like times where I've been let down by people in the industry that have told me, oh yeah, we're going to do this and this and this, and then they just drop you like that. And then the third one was just not even music related. It was just straight like, yeah, like I look like I'm being good, but deep down it's not all that. But then again, I know I need to do good, and I want to share this in the music, and I want to motivate people, but I need to motivate myself, and like a whole mixture of things really. And yeah,
a motivational song. Okay, and that I really respect that, man, and I rate that, because my you know, my question was really around, and you've answered it anyway, is how does music help you through those challenges, and you know, from there you've got an outlet, you put it into your music, which, and there's bravery to doing that, because I feel that some people do, but you know, worry about how it would be received, because, you know, you talk about music and you think about entertainment and people don't associate the mental health side of it or the struggles as entertainment per se. You know, you could talk about struggles like on road, you can talk about struggles maybe in a job, and that seems to be somehow separated from mental health. But if you talk about actual using the word depression, and that as in a song, and the emotion behind that, it tends to have that negative stigma towards it. So it's great that artists like yourself are like, you know, saying, nah, fuck that, excuse my language, this is what I'm going
to. No, of course, because I think that's the issue with Joyner as well. I think Joyner said a few times, like, he gets called like corny quite a lot, because like he makes some passionate tunes, but his music videos and his tunes are mad. Yeah. Like the visuals, like that I'm Not Racist tune and all them tunes there, I'm thinking that's crazy. Like Eminem, I remember Eminem said to him, like, oh, that I'm Not Racist tune should be nominated for a Grammy, and then a week later it was nominated for a Grammy. Unfortunately, he didn't win it, but still to be nominated is crazy, bro. Like,
no, it was. When I heard that track, I was like, "Who is this?" Because that shows you I was sleeping, because I hadn't heard of him before that. I saw this video and it's like,
yeah, he's got loads of mad. He's got some really mad tracks, man. Yeah, like it's the visuals as well, because he directs it himself as well. A lot of the visuals, So like some of the stuff that he does is just crazy, because you can hear the lyrics and you can feel the lyrics as well, but also the visuals are just like no one else is doing visuals like that.
When he said that to Will Smith, he literally said he has the video in his head first, and then he writes his lyrics based on the video.
Yeah, I do that quite a lot as well.
That's I mean, someone else might be listening and saying, yeah, that's normal. To me, that ain't. That's another level of creativity. That's I look at that on par when people say they see colors. You know, like when they hear music, they see colors. I think was it I should know his name. Pharrell. I think he sees colors or something when he hears music. I think that's genius level to me. You know, in that kind of
of course, you're kind of opening like your third eye or something. It's like
you know,
them words.
That definitely. But bro, listen, I could talk to you all day, man, and I love the fact you can ever share with me, like, you know, from early doors in school, and how you know you didn't feel that you belonged there, and the frustrations you had to becoming a teacher and inspiring youngsters just through that work alone, to then music, your compassion there, and sharing your experiences. You know what I mean? And I guess I wanted to end it with you, because the idea of this was around sort of mental health and lockdown. is what advice would you be giving? And you touched on this before as well about sort of lack of motivation here and there to write songs, but you're chilling as well. So it sounds like you got a good balance, but I'll come up with the question anyway, is what advice would you be giving to anyone who's struggling right now, who's hearing this, they're struggling because of lockdown, it's making it worse for them, and they're struggling anyway around just not being able to cope with things. What advice would you give?
I'd say just reach out to as many people as you can, even if you don't feel like your family, because like it's an education thing, man. Like not everyone's educated about certain conditions and that. Because like you could even have family members, you could be saying something to them and they'd be like, "Oh no, you're being a bit of a wimp or whatever," because that's just how they learn it, sort of thing. So you just got to try to find the right people, even if it has to be a professional. If you just talk to someone on the phone or webcam, kind of NHS are doing a lot of stuff like that now. Obviously because of the current situation, and just put it out as much as you possibly can, really. And just keep connecting with people, and then they can share their experiences with you, and you can build bonds with people and actually have people to talk to, and that you can listen to their stuff at the same time, and then you can actually discuss the same topic instead of like them just listening to you, sort of thing. So it doesn't make you feel bad, because I think another issue with a lot of people is because of their mental health, they feel embarrassed to like bring it up because they feel like they're being a burden, sort of thing. So I feel like if you manage to find someone who has the same sort of thing like you can kind of have that bond and a bit more like mutual respect between each other, sort of thing. So
yeah, man, that is blessed. No, I appreciate that. B. Louise, where can I hear you, man? Where can I hear your latest EP, and what's it called? Where can
if you just get me on the Instagram, because I use Instagram more than anything, to be honest. I'm not really on Twitter or nothing. I'm coming off Snapchat probably soon as well. I only have Snapchat because the filters are funny. That's the only reason I have Snapchat. If you just type in that Borjad guy, and Borjad is spelled Borjad, so that Borjad guy, and then I'm on 20% battery on my phone. Can you still see me?
Yeah, no, but it's
okay,
bad
no, it just went black for a minute.
You went that Borjad guy, you were spelling it, and then because the video went, your name came up, so the spelling was there. So it's perfect. It's like
sick.
The way it dropped.
That's perfect, man.
Yeah. Cool.
So just get me on Instagram, really. I'm always active on Instagram, always sharing stuff. So then you'll just find everything there, really. Just drop me a message, man. Like, I'm always happy to chat to new people all the time. I'm always interested to find out more about people, and people to find out about me, and kind of just build a sort of network there. So
wicked. All right, but I'll make sure though that social is on this link, is on this interview as well. And bruv, stay safe. Thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing your story, man. And like I said, if it helps one person, we've done our jobs, right? You know what I mean? So like you said,
100%, man. No, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate that we're doing this again for Mental Health Week, because even last year I thought I was proper big, man, because I didn't come across a lot of people that wanted to like spread awareness of it until I met you. So
love, man. And as I said, I'm learning. I learned again from you today, and you dropped some gems, bruv. So yeah, enough love, and say hello to Beth for me as well. She gets well soon. You know, good recovery. And bruv, man, keep being the man that you are, man. You're a champion, bro. Trust me. Big up.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. Thanks, man.
You're welcome.
I'll give you a shout soon, bro.
Yeah.
Nice one, bro.